Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers, Facebookians. Aries here with an Aries solo for Living Simply and Fun. Aaron would like to be here, but his friend Josh is around. So today I'm going to be reviewing modern trout fishing. That's right. Advanced tactics and strategy for today's fly fisher. I read it. I got through it. The first few chapters are simple. I'm going to break it down for you. It's by Boots Allen. First one is acknowledgement about the author, forward by Patrick Strobe. Personally, I think it's an interesting. Then you got understanding trout behavior, what trout see, hear, and smell. This part here, I've read too many times in the Orvis guides. It was the same. Understanding holding water, same with Orvis. Then it got into the interesting dry fly strategy and tactics, nymph strategy and tactics, and streamer strategies and tactics. What I like the most about dry flies is it tells you dry flies 4 to 6 for fly rods, whereas nymphs you can use 6 and 7, where streamers is 7, 8, and 9, which I didn't know. Every time we talk about equipment, it was talking about, etc. It's like, this is the equipment you use, yada, yada, yada. Well, no one tells you. It also talks about what you use for nymphing. Like, this guy talks about droppers. When you're sitting there nymphing, you don't hear about it. You just sit there and you listen and, and you understand streamers. And it's like, oh, well, what's a streamer? But then the guy talks about it. Whereas Orvis doesn't talk about the equipment, talks about the presentation and then dragonflies and still water and, it says right here, and then it talks about the equipment, and that was one of the things that I enjoyed the most about this one, was talking about streamers. It's a streamer rig, streamers, etc. Then it gets down to here, it says streamers, and then it says 6 and 8 weights have their places for streamers, and I actually enjoyed listening and reading about tackle. Whereas a nymphs, it didn't say much, except, it just basically says what you need. 5 and 6 weights are for nymphs. So I really enjoyed it, and I found it to be a very pleasant book. And I highly recommend it for anyone looking to read more about modern trout fishing. There's so many people out there that write books, and they all say the same BS. However, this guy here was using advanced tactics, which means this book was more for a user that could sit there and say, oh yes, I could use three flies, dry flies, sink flies, or nymph flies, whatever. And it's advanced, whereas a lot of people use 1 fly. This guy was using 2 or 3 flies, and it was just amazing, and I learned a lot. And I learned a lot because this guy actually went ahead above and beyond and talked about the equipment needed for the fishing itself. Whereas most of the books I've read says, oh, well, I took my 4-weight bamboo fly rod and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, not a lot of people have the money for a bamboo. So with that said, I highly recommend this book for anyone who wants to read it. I had the library bring it in for me. They bought it, actually. Now the library's going to get it back tomorrow because I'm done with it. I also have 4 books to review for you soon. I'm going to bust my hump. I haven't started. That's because I'm kind of floating at the moment. Me and Aaron's been trying to get through some problems. Not bad problems, just a few minor problems. So I haven't had the time to read in the evening for dry fly, nymphs, or whatever. They're John Gierach books. Right now the one I am is fishing and waving a stick, or standing in a river and waving a stick or something is what it's called. Anyways, I got 3 other ones, A View from Rat Lake, and 2 other ones to read after that. The Unknown Fisherman. So I got to pick up 3 more John Gierach books. I got 1 to drop off, and then I got to bust my hump. Hopefully over the weekend I'll get at least 2 of them done. I just got to put my mind to it. Right now I've just been like, eh. So anywho, with that said, I just wanted to say please add and subscribe if you like. Please post comments. Please leave feedback and suggestions. Thank you, and may God bless the world.